Backtest session day 11. Let's go, boys. I'm gonna delete this shit because that's a random. Should we? Is this some real? Oh no, I've messed up with that session in some way. Well, let's delete that and start backtesting gold. Actually, this is what I will do. Gold, XAUUSD. So I will take silver and gold, and let's try to like get like SMTs and stuff. Start from the start of 2022. That strategy. Let's go. That one. I changed the chart color like this. This is nicer in my opinion. We got like a dark gray down close and then light gray up close candles. That's very nice. I'm going to change the canvas a little bit as well. No grid lines. And then we're gonna have like a very light beige. I think this is quite nice. Maybe even a little bit lighter. About that's cool. So let's get started. So we're trading in this daily imbalance. I'm going to try this layout with, let's have a silver there and then we're gonna have gold here. So silver doesn't have daily imbalance. Silver didn't take that high, which I believe gold did, so this could be a bearish SMT for us. This could be an SMT, which doesn't have to be, but it could be. And we got silver especially has nice imbalance down here, which it could come down towards. So anyhow, I'm going to learn the session. So no imbalances here. Maybe if even if it didn't take that high, it's SMT. If silver comes to this fair value gap and shifts in structure in lower time frame, we could still take a short towards here because there is a lot of liquidity down here. So let's just look at this in that sense. Five-minute chart. There you go. So okay, so you can see how we come up to that area. Actually, do I have sessions in this? Wait. Okay, problem fixed. So this is also an Asian range. Let's look to drive towards that gap. Okay, now we're in it. SMT stands. With gold, we are because we got SMT bearishly, and we don't have fair value gap here in gold, so this is a small one, but we haven't even mitigated that, so we could easily drive lower from here. Keeping that in mind, silver looks a little bit more bearish. I would be more willing to execute that. Obviously, now that we are pushing through that level, it doesn't really seem like we are like resisting that level bearishly, which could just mean that we are driving up to these highs anyway. So this is exactly the reason why you need confirmation in an area. So even if I think that we should move lower from this area, you cannot just take blind short there. We need to have low time frame context as well, so which would need to be a breaker structure. And maybe I could have a model in place where if that area doesn't hold, then I would maybe expect market to move higher, in which case when that area that I'm expecting to be bearish, when that area doesn't hold bearishly, then I would be expecting that to be a area for market to come back and use that like an inversion FAG to go higher. So let's see, because we are kind of displacing through that area right now. So yeah, looks bullish as of now, because that area doesn't give any rejections. So that's the reason why this looks bullish for me. And we do have like range to go higher in gold as well. I would want to skip the next hourly candle so that we can see if there is a fair value gap here. There is a small one, and we flip all of these. Let's keep this in mind. We could try to get long from this gap, but yeah, also it doesn't have to hold. Okay, we are probably still dropping down here. It just didn't want to give me what I wanted to see for like a short action, you know what I'm saying. But it seems like it's still willing to go there. It just flipped all these gaps, so that's just kind of is undermining my confidence in this kind of setup. Whereas gold, we got that low. We are clearly driving lower, so maybe we could have a setup here if gold kind of gives me something. It's kind of hard though, because structure here is a little choppy in this area, and then we kind of just smash lower. Maybe that's a news event or something. But yeah, we go way too fast. Oh, what did I just do? I don't know. So we kind of came down where I was expecting us to go anyway. Right now we have a lot of sell side liquidity for our gap. So two scenarios we could, or there are multiple scenarios. We could even drive higher, but as of now I cannot like expect that to happen, because we are down here kind of consolidating. Although we hold this gap, so let's look at the daily in gold. So we flip all these gaps, so this looks like a little bit bearish for me, and we are holding this weekly. But yeah, hard to say. I would be looking at the 4 hour gaps, and we do have a sell side. So if we come back here up and hold this gap bearish, I would be willing to short. That's the simple idea. I do understand that we could go higher as well, but we have that bearish SMT still here, still standing. So yeah, let's scale to 50-minute chart and look at these areas that I marked out. If we could kind of climb towards the areas with gold. We have a 50-minute gap here. from which we could even execute like 1 minute long. I usually, when I take these kind of 1 minute ideas, they usually, okay, this is not going to play out. It needs to leave the area. Needs to leave the area quite swiftly if it's going to play out, you know what I'm saying? Yo. Okay, so we don't really go there, which silver does it with that candle, so it can be, you know, this is like a bearish SMT. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is like a bearish SMT, but then this is like bullish SMT, so I cannot really say where we're going right now. It seems like we are establishing more bearishness, so when it comes to that, we could be drawing lower, but silver took a lot of sell side here. And so with silver, if we have a fair value gap here, okay, we do, and we do have fair value gap here. So I could be willing to go towards these highs in 1 minute break of structure. Unfortunately, seems like we're moving a little bit too straightforward. Let's see if gold can give something, because we're clearly driving in higher in gold as well. SMT there. I mean, the target is a little bit too close, you know what I'm saying? The 2R could be reached with a trade looking something like this, which if it tags me there would be nice, but it didn't happen. What time is it? Is too late. So this looks quite nice. So we got basically bearish gap here, bullish 4 hour here. So let's see if we, let's see which one of these we can hold. We got exactly similar situation with gold here. So I would be more bearish, because this is the more important one in terms of the fact that we are trading in a bearish price like right now, and we flipped like gaps in this bullish price range. But we could easily hold this and kind of run higher, so let's keep that in mind. Silver is a little bit lower here already, so I would be monitoring for a 50-minute chart here. So silver had a bearish reaction, now it's giving a bullish one from here, which kind of makes sense. So I would be, this is also a bullish SMT, because silver is much lower than gold. So we could take a long and try to go all the way, maybe even up. I would have a buy limit at that fair value gap in silver. Hope to see. Okay, so price reacts higher. Also, I need to understand that, well, this is the one of the areas to maybe take even profits out of. This is the fair value gap high that needs to be looked at, because price hourly candle, this candle closes respecting it, then this candle is now trading over, but that doesn't mean that we won't respect it, so we could come back down there. Okay, we drive higher, That's cool. Now I marked out this area. You can see how we have a bearish down close candle there. Shouldn't be too scared about that again, but we are still holding this bearish, and I do want to take some profits out, so I'll take 50% out and go stop just below that low, almost break even. Okay. This is not really like a good target in my opinion. This is just this is really the real target. Because I'm not willing to hold like multiple days. It could take like multiple days. The market could do some weird shit before moving really high up here. But this is the reason why I like to trade gold and silver together, because here I don't really see a trade in gold. Silver did exactly what I wanted to see gold do, so gold doesn't look as bullish in my opinion as silver. Or I would say it doesn't look as good, because with gold you would have wanted to see like a deeper retracement towards this price, like equilibrium, and then after a break of shock, so that looks very good to long. But when we don't see that, it's very nice to see that in silver, because silver now has a bullish SMT there, so that's very nice. The 4-hour candle hasn't still closed, and so we technically are respecting still this. I mean we're not, but we could be respecting this still technically. But the next high to drive towards are these highs here. So let's just see what happens here. I'm kind of hesitant to take anything here. Yeah, I'm gonna just skip to London. You can see how we end up still rejecting. %50% of that order block there. Okay, so we're far down in silver. With gold, it's not that far down. So but yeah, holding that gap. Holding that weekly gap. The SMT doesn't stand there anymore. Yeah. But yeah, bearish action still is there. So then what you need to see is like a 4-hour imbalance, bearish one, to be traded into, and then you can go short from there. Obviously right now we don't have that kind of, well, these are the gaps. Market just displaces, which simply means that we're not trading back into that, but you know, we got a small hourly BPR here. Yo, what was that? Market's bugging. Anyhow, we got that BPR there. We could get long technically towards that gap. I again don't like gold nearly as much I mean, let's just look at that range there. They look kind of similar, gold and silver. Like there are no notable differences. But you know, is it a good idea to go long after seeing a rejection away from here? I don't think so. We could easily. Hey, they are the same chart. I'm sorry, but anyhow. Okay, so now we are in the right chart. So SMT. If I wanted to go long, I would want to see one more like bullish 50-minute gap, which we don't see. Unfortunately, we are not really retracing either, because now that we are retracing, we took all of these lows. So technically, you could short. But is that now something that's like a wise idea? I don't really think so. We could easily reject, which we do. But even the downside action we kind of come down and then we start rejecting. And we never really provide volume to the downside, so that's something. For me, it seems that we're either driving here or up here. If we came up here, that would be a good place to sell. That would be the ideal situation, I believe so. What the gold doesn't really do anything. Silver is leaving the area. So equilibrium, if 1 minute chart gives like a very nice retracement and break of structure again to the upside in the equilibrium, we could consider longs. That's the thing here. Although, well, let's look at this. Relative equal lows rejecting this. It doesn't look very good. Yeah, actually it doesn't look good at all. In that sense. I believe this is SMT polishly, but I don't know, that's not too nice. So yeah, we could hold. I'm not trying to get trapped though, so I would rather just wait and see if market wants to short. So swept a lot of buy side. We did take that high as well. Now we got this area to consider shorts in. Let's see how 1 minute chart reacts. Not good enough. News event. Okay, so doesn't look too good, but if market is willing to, like, because the volume is so high, if it's willing to wick like super far up, that would be still a valid sell in my opinion. So let's just try this out. Oh, accidentally skipped like 15 minutes, but yeah, we didn't get tagged in there before taking at that low. So I could still get short because we didn't take that fair value gap there. Keeping that in mind, I will take this and then try to add into the position because I don't want to get trapped here. I'm willing to risk a small amount here, but this could easily just take me out, as you can see. Okay, I don't like what we're seeing here, so I cannot really, don't really have help from 4 hour. The fact that we came here reject could mean that we're driving towards these lows. But there's no gaps, which is not a good thing. We got one gap in this Asian range here, which we're kind of respecting it. We technically closed above, but I don't really know if that's like something important to notice, if you know what I'm saying. They would need to see a 5-minute breaker structure to the downside, which we are not really having right now. That happens up instead to the upside, which could make sense because we got that hourly. So like, nope, I'm going to New York. This is not really something I'm interested in. So okay, pretty nice daily gap, which we are rejecting. Although this one is also important to notice with swept sell side there. Weekly still closed like with that engulfing candle. This is Monday, so this could be your Monday manipulation, and we could just continue easily lower. I'm gonna get a 4 hour down here. So let's stay on note. I will skip 30 minutes because I want to see how that gap is created there. Okay, so I'm kind of bearish with this. Yeah, the session ends there. Market creates almost equal lows there. Rejecting from here. Okay, this is pretty nice rejection. But market doesn't retrace. The problem is I would need market to take the price up here because I'm interested in selling towards this gap. But there's just no way I can get in if market doesn't retrace like heavily higher. With this 1 minute entries, I try to risk only 0.5% because I'm not always so sure about them, but ended up working out. Didn't tap me in. What can I say? Silver looks bearish. We are holding this right now. So the thing in here is that nice 15-minute break. Okay, no SMT unfortunately there. But we don't have fair value gap in that downside range, so I unfortunately cannot get in. Maybe if we see like a, let's do that. 1 minute confirmation down, and I will be willing to look for something, but clearly we are moving quite heavily higher, which could make sense because that's been respected. But yeah, right now okay, very gold looks like it could want to drive up here, which now we're rejecting from this 4 hour gap, so I would be more interested in longs. Now we are quite far up. Oh, this is lagging. Shit. The 4 hours lagging heavily. Well, we are already up. What is this 4 hour doing, man? Why? What the fuck is this candle? Silver seems to be fine. Mark that area. Hourly didn't come. Oh, it did, but it's super vague. So let's just see if we can have an additional break of structure to the upside here. Unfortunately, no fair value gap there. I don't like that structure that builds that break of structure there, so I'm kind of picky, but I don't like the structure here. That's the simple truth here. I knew that we were trying probably hard, but I just couldn't take myself to execute any of these. Like all of the break of structure, like here, yeah, I could have executed. It's way too choppy. Like what the fuck is this, man? I would rather preserve my capital than try to force some entries through some choppy structure. Again, don't know what happened here with FX replay. That structure is just odd, but we're clearly driving towards highs here. We wouldn't be so heavily pushing higher otherwise. So I don't really see fair value gaps in this range here. There's surely like M15 here, but I want to see like hourly fair value gap, which I don't see, which kind of drives me away. But let's say if there was hourly fair value gap, I would be super content to take a long towards this high, which means silver should long as well. So let's see if we can have a gap here in silver. So that technically gets flipped, which is annoying. That I mean, that's not even technical. That just happens. 4 hour gap actually holds very nicely. So this is looking bullish for me. We got equal highs here, highs here, all of these highs. So what does this mean? This means for me that we have broken structure here. So I would be willing to go along from buy limit there. Okay. How about this structure? Nah, not looking good. Look. Gold is leaving lower. I could preserve my capital and close here because it just doesn't look like it's willing to leave right now. And yeah, not willing to look at that shit. I want to go to New York session and see what happens. So we sweep some of the targets. We're still trading in this 4 hour. So I think gold just wanted to manipulate a little bit lower. So I still think gold will run higher as well. I just cannot see fair value gaps in this range, which means that I need like a 15-minute fair value gap here before getting possible longs. But yeah, gold wants to manipulate. Maybe it's going to run higher tomorrow. Maybe it won't do that, but I would be kind of surprised if it didn't do that. Maybe it just wants to take that low, mitigate that fair value gap further down, and let's see. Probably the run will then happen during Asia, which would be annoying. You can see we sweep that, come into that fair value gap, and immediately start trading higher. And then Asia doesn't even retrace really. Okay, now we have that retracement. Gold looking bullish towards this high and this high. We are having strong reaction lower, so for me that means that I want to see like a strong volume candles higher, and also I would want to see like sharp edges, like liquidity being swept like this, like nothing this kind of shit. Like this is not a good break structure. Even though we break structure there, I don't want this shit, man. And it just seems like gold is doing that exact thing. Okay, we are going lower still. Not going to break the structure very well, I would say. Let's look at 5 minute, because 5 minute can protect myself with this shit. Okay, this could be a break of structure. Now. Okay, gold was not willing to do anything. Wasn't willing to cooperate with me. Which kind of makes sense, because we hadn't taken even that low, and you cannot really know what will it move or not when it does that, but now it's moving. Okay, the problem was here that we were rejecting this area. When you start to chop like that, I would real time go break even and take some profits there, because that's just outrageous. God is probably manipulating the shits out of me, man. Like it doesn't want to go there, and then I'm just getting chopped a lot of time. Maybe I need to be more cautious about what silver's doing, because silver could be more like not manipulative type, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know, I haven't traded silver nearly as much as gold, but silver took all of those highs, so that's kind of why I would be not so interested. But again, we do have these highs here, this fair value gap, and this previous week high, so I would still expect us to run there, which means we could easily have volume pretty nice towards that area. So I would take a 1% risk, because that's a pretty good structure, as well as okay, problem here, we smash lower, now we're chopping higher, so this is kind of bad. Let's go minute by minute. Okay, so we are willing to go even lower. I see this gap here, so I think market could come down there. I'm not willing to look at this. Market doesn't want to leave, so what can I say? I would hope that gold gives some buy setup, like not too many fair value gaps again. Here we got that inverse gap, so like I would be willing to take silver again if it now breaks structure again higher. But as you can see, the chop kind of drove me away from this. Like the initially leaves, but when it comes down and chops like that, you should never stay in. Okay, now we came to this 4-hour area, which is pretty important. And maybe I should have looked into that, because that was actually good reason for, like, there was a good reason for price to drive there. Now we have flipped this gap. No fair value gaps in 15 minutes, so I would still scale to 1 minute. You can see how that is kind of bad structure. So let's see what 1 minute gives me. Okay. I'm still thinking of longs, but the session is over. Let's go London. The thing is, we are holding this, which could by extension mean that we're driving here. So maybe now that I see this, I should flip my bias bearish. Which would mean that we could come up here and then see short. Okay, so this high. Let's look at the hourly. Unfortunately, no SMT here. Unfortunately. So let's see if we can have a 5-minute break structure with gold. I would want us to go up here once more. Okay, the problem is with silver, I could sell this, but I think gold could come up here, which is problematic in the terms of the fact that then silver could also liquidate the high, but also there is a bearish SMT. So I'm simply, although am I saying fair value gaps here? I mean, technically this is one with that volume imbalance. So maybe I will execute from that, or use that as a confluence. So that would be around 3%. That would be around 2.4%. So I will just market execute there. Good market execution, because we don't have that volume imbalance. It will possibly still come up there. You can see how it kind of consolidates, fails to break new lows, which is not a good sign at all. But kind of have to trust the analysis here. Like, wouldn't really make sense otherwise. But yeah, that was a good trade. Similar trade with gold didn't happen. So as far as I'm concerned right now, silver seems to be moving much nicer than gold. Which more people tend to trade gold, so I guess more people like gold more or some shit. I don't know what's the reason for trading gold rather than silver. But yeah, silver seems nice.